So recently I came across a really interesting nootropic subreddit thread, which basically said like that a person is experiencing what they think to be is low blood glucose or low blood glucose like effects from taking Aniracetam, and that's Aniracetam. So I want to discuss a study on Aniracetam and cerebral glucose metabolism to possibly explain what might have been going on with this person. This is really interesting for those of you neuroscience geeks that are truly interested in this kind of stuff, so stick around. Coming up.
Cortex is the productivity stack. This is the stack you want to take for total mental energy, total mental dominance, total motivation, verbal fluency, focus, and the drive to get work done. Get the Cortex Nootropic stack at livecortex.com. Feel what it feels like to fire on all cylinders.
That is the Cortex stack, $29.99 right now. Use the coupon code 5, takes it down to $24.99. I believe we're ending that special, and I'm talking, and I believe because I have to talk with my admin guy, his name is Forbes, for Cortex Labs, and we sort of decide on specials and how the specials are going to work, but I believe that's going to end sometime in the middle of next week. So if you want to get Cortex cheap, get it at livecortex.com. We've got 3 digital guides. Those are also cheap right now, $20 for all of them. $20 individually. They teach you how to use nootropics. They got many stacks. At the end of this video, there'll be a quick video that explains those specials on the livecortex.com website. That we'll have for just another couple days. So get all that nootropic product stuff at livecortex.com. Okay, so yeah, basically I came across this thread on the Nootropics subreddit, which is a place where people talk about their experiences, they ask questions, people are just postulating, people are talking about nootropics pretty consistently. And somebody said, look, I took Aniracetam and I basically sort of felt like I had some sort of blood sugar crash. He explained how he had like some pancakes and some other things in his breakfast that day that that were certainly high in the glycemic index. I guess depending on the ingredients used in the pancakes, but more than likely high in the glycemic index if he was using some sort of maple syrup or God forbid, like using like some giant high fructose corn syrup. He might have been super high in the glycemic index, which means it would have threw his blood sugar up and then threw his blood sugar subsequently down, which might have made him feel like he had blood sugar issues. But he said that it happened in the presence of taking Aniracetam. And some folks responded like, hey, maybe this has to do with blood glucose, maybe this has to do with your breakfast, maybe not Aniracetam, but I kind of think it does have a little bit to do with Aniracetam. So I remember reading on some stuff about Aniracetam and brain glucose utilization, basically glucose metabolism among neurons in the prefrontal cortex. And so I Googled it and I found this study that I think I was referencing in my head, like in my memory, and it basically says this: the effect of Aniracetam on cerebral glucose metabolism in rats after lesioning of the basal forebrain measured by PET, which is I guess some sort of like thing to measure. Oh yeah, positron emission tomography. So basically what they did here is they found out that you could lesion a rat's brain, like damage it, create lesions in the rat's brain. And that by administering Aniracetam, you could prevent the subsequent decrease in glucose metabolism that might take place from a lesioned brain, right? A damaged brain, an injured or an impaired brain. The final results basically go like this. These results show that Aniracetam prevents glucose metabolic reduction in the cholinergically denervated frontal cortex with little effect on the cortical cholinergic system. So like the rest of the brain, the rest of the cortex, cholinergic system was not negatively affected in the realm of glucose metabolism, but you would expect glucose metabolism to not function all that well in the presence of a lesion on the brain, in the basal forebrain. And what Aniracetam did was prevent that. It prevented any glucose metabolism reduction. Okay, so that's one interesting thing in and of itself. But this is just me postulating, so we really don't know, and I'm not trying to speak in definitive terms here, but I would say that my position on it is perhaps this person's baseline blood glucose responded negatively to his breakfast, or is typically sort of fluctuating in kind of a flippant way. Sometimes people that have blood sugar dysregulation, it's like it'll shoot up to 200 milligrams per deciliter, and then their blood sugar will shoot down to 70 milligrams per deciliter, then back up to 160 milligrams per deciliter. And that's sort of shifty in a 1 hour time frame. It shouldn't really be shifting like that. And so maybe he's got some sort of derangement of blood glucose, or insulin, which is the hormone that stores glucose, basically gets glucose into cells for mitochondria to use as energy. And then Aniracetam, because of its effects on glucose metabolism in injured rat brains, seems to enhance glucose metabolism. So perhaps like this guy basically just like ultra enhanced glucose metabolism in his brain, and there was some sort of physiological response as a result of that shot his blood sugar down thereafter. Or maybe because he doesn't say like, I took a glucometer and tested my blood sugar. Maybe he's just experiencing hyperglycemia, which is too high, elevated blood sugar levels. So maybe his blood sugar level shot up to like 300 milligrams per deciliter or something pretty high on the scale. Normally, you should be between 150 and 200 post-meal, and then back to 100 or below 100 2 hours after a meal. Maybe he just went into hyperglycemia, too much sugar floating around in the blood or something, too much utilization of glucose somewhere, and that made him feel crappy. But the overarching point is I actually do think it had to do with the Aniracetam. Maybe the breakfast, maybe some underlying glucose derangement, but probably the Aniracetam too. So that's just something to look out for folks. If you got blood sugar derangement, basically if there's anything wrong metabolically in your body, you want to try to optimize that either before you take nootropics or just consider it while you're taking nootropics. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.
What's up, everybody? Ryan Michael Balla here. Check it out. Everything's on sale this weekend, okay? The Racetam God Guide, which has powerful Aniracetam stacks, fast Racetam phenibut stacks, highly functional Colaracetam, PRL853 oxiracetam stacks. The thing is on sale. It is a digital guide. It's $20. You choose what device you want to read it on, you add to your cart, and you're done. The Noopept Pro stack list. This thing has a ton of pro sublingual, oral, and regular, and nasal Noopept stacks. Then it's got 20 bonus Racetam stacks. This is digital as well. It's $20 this weekend. All right, get it at livecortex.com. Select which device you want to read it on, and you are off. Smarter, Better, Faster is a guide for everybody. It breaks down everything. My powerful stacks. I mean, look at this. Aniracetam, oxiracetam, piracetam, theacrine, tyrosine, alpha, GPC, CDP, choline stacks, everything in between. That is also $20. A Smarter, Better, Faster guide is insane. Gives you a lot of powerful stacks, and you get access to it right away. It's $20. Get it at livecortex.com. Add it to your cart. But the thing that's been a super hit over the last week is we've been running a special on Cortex, our stack for functional motivation, improved speed of processing, improved working memory, improved productivity capacity, intense drive to work. We designed it for productive workers, built for entrepreneurs, highly effective for programmers, lots of cognitive endurance. We got this thing on sale for $29.99. Normally it's $34.99 at livecortex.com. You can get it for $24.99. Get a couple bottles if you normally get Cortex stock up, and that's it. Okay, so these three powerful products, we got the Racetam God Guide at $20, digital stack list of Racetam stacks, the Noopept Pro stack list at $20, giant digital stack list of Noopept stacks, SBF at $20, and then we got Cortex at $29.99. All this weekend. Make it happen at livecortex.com, and thanks for watching.